This module will show you how to modify the data file, including how to insert and delete cases or variables using SPSS. If you want to follow using the dataset used in this example, please follow the links below to download the SPSS file associated with this module. Make sure you always save a new copy of your dataset before making any modifications. It is quite easy to make mistakes accidentally, and you don't want to risk overwriting your data. To start, we're going to insert a new case. So in the Data View tab, move your cursor to the left-hand side shaded section and left-click on the row number to highlight the whole row where you want a new case to be inserted. To insert a new case, you have two options. So let's choose number 5. We can either right-click and come down to Insert Cases, or left-click on number 5, come up to the top of your page to Edit, and come down to Insert Cases. As you can see, this now creates a blank row, which is inserted directly above the selected row 5. To delete this case, we simply left-click on the row again to highlight the row, and we press Delete on our keyboard. If you are setting up your data and you want to add a new variable, we can do this by adding it into the next available row in the Variable View tab. However, it is possible to insert this variable while in the Data View tab. For example, if you want to insert a new variable named age close to the date of birth variable, left-click and select the column Weight. We have two options here. We can right-click on Weight and come down to Insert Variable, or similar to what we did before, we can left-click on Weight, come up to Edit, and come down to Insert Variable. This has now created space to input the data for your new variable. However, you'll need to note that you'll need to go into the Variable View tab to actually input any information about this variable, such as its name, label, and type of measurement. Another thing that you might need to do is move an existing variable or case. So sometimes when you are screening your data, you may want particular variables closer to one another. While in the Data View tab, we're going to move date of birth in between height and comments. To move an existing variable while in this data view, highlight the variable column that you wish to move, such as date of birth. Hold down the left mouse button and we can then drag it left or right. And as you can see, there's a red line that will appear as you drag it to its new position. In this example, we're going to move date of birth in between the height and the comments column. We release the left mouse button and that will drop it into place. We can also create a new variable. A new variable can be computed from other numeric variables. These are formulas just like we would use in Excel. For example, we can calculate BMI for height in meters and weight variables in kilograms. And we know that BMI equals weight divided by height in meters squared. We come up to our transform button and we click Compute Variable. This creates our Compute Variable box. In the target variable is where we name what we'd like to create. So in this case, BMI. In the numeric expression box, we can enter the formula for calculating BMI. So there's two options to do this. We can either type in the variable name. However, we need to make sure we have it exactly as it is in SPSS, or we can start by left-clicking and dragging across the variable. To write out this expression, it is weight in brackets, so open bracket weight, close bracket, / which denotes the division. Our height is actually in centimetres, as you can see here. So we need to convert this to metres so that BMI can be calculated correctly. So to do this, we're going to have two open brackets. And we drag height across, divided by 100 to convert height in centimetres to metres. And we close that first bracket. We then need to put it to the power of 2 or to square this answer, so height squared. And in SPSS, we do this by having 2 asterisks and the number 2. And then we can close the bracket. So what this is saying is weight in kilos. We're converting height into metres and we're squaring it so that in the end we can have weight divided by height in metres squared. Once you have this numeric expression, we can click OK. If you've entered this incorrectly, an error will pop up and you'll need to come back to this screen to work out what went wrong. So let's have a go and click OK. You'll now see an output window pop up and it's telling you that this has been executed. So we know that it's gone ahead with no issues. We come back to our dummy data view screen and we can see that BMI has now been allocated on the far right. And this is to 2 decimal places. If you come into your variable view, you can change how many decimal places you might like to see, and you could also put in a label. It is automatically recognised that it's a scale measurement, otherwise you could edit and select it if you needed.